Okay, start them down there. My card Beverly. Let us start by paying homage to the Blessed One by reciting the Tassa 3 times together. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. May our homage to the Buddha, the fully enlightened one, the worthy one, and the blessed one. Anumodana Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu. So thank you. Welcome back to our Buddhism in English level 4. Today is the week 20, and we will conduct with another very special presentation on the way to highest blessing based on Maṅgala Sutta. And we also very honored to have invited Most Venerable Preah Paññāmuṇīñāṇa Sieng from Cambodia, from Battambang province, Cambodia. And he is the Executive Director of Buddhism for Education of Cambodia, which is a very well-known Buddhist organization in terms of education throughout Cambodia. And he is also advisor to the National Council of Khmer Language, Royal Academy of Cambodia, and also, of course, advisor to our Dhammika Life Foundation and Dhammika Life Academy. He has been helping us, giving us a lot of advice through many programs that we have been conducting, especially in terms of the weekly Dhamma talk on every Friday, Khmer and English version. So we are very grateful for Venerable Sieng for your knowledge and experience having shared with us. So today we give you the floor for your presentation about Maṅgala Sutta. And there, please. Bante, unmute yourself. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, so I can start again. So thank you very much, Most Venerable Master, and my pay homage to the 3 points of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, and my respect to Most Venerable Master Sokthewi, who is the director of Dhammika Academy International. And good evening to everyone in our class, and maybe morning to our student abroad. There are some other from USA, right?
Yeah, Bante, yeah.
So yeah, so good morning from Cambodia, and good evening to everyone. I think most of our students from Cambodia. Are there any monks here? Honorable Master? I don't see any monks.
Yeah, there are some monks here. Yeah.
Some monks. They're coming, I think, right? Okay, so my great honor, Master, and everyone, for being a lecturer for Venerable Master just mentioned the special lecture. Yeah, it's very, very special lecture, but maybe not special lecturer. and I'm not as good as Master just mentioned at the moment, but anyway, it's a really good presentation concerning the topic today is about Maṅgala Sutta. It's a great discourse mentioned, expounded by the Buddha. So in this presentation, maybe I need your help for cooperation. Maybe I will ask some question, and I want all of you to get involved. Like how to say, like some interaction, not really just listen. If you listen at this time, I think it might be sleepy. But and my first, I don't have many presentation, just the first hour or maybe the last one for this course. How many lecturers per day?
Yeah, we have had over 10 lecturers already, including the foreigners one. Yeah,
They're very good. So our student got a lot of knowledge
hope
and
so.
experience. And yeah, very good. So, well, I would like to share the screen our topic. So yeah, we will discuss about the Maṅgala Sutta. So I don't have Ramanai Pali in my computers, but I hope you can understand, read out Maṅgala Sutta, the highest blessing. Tripet, are you here?
Yes, Bante Guru.
You hear me well?
Yes, wow, right now.
Okay, very good. And my object, we have two. The first one, to understand the way to develop happiness and prosperity. As you know, everyone need happiness and prosperity in our life, but sometimes we don't know the method, the mechanism on how we develop happiness. So in Maṅgala Sutta, the Buddha, expounded and mentioned very detailed of the way to develop happiness and prosperity. So in my presentation, my main objective is to show you how to develop your own happiness and also the happiness for the society as well. This is my first objective. And the second, to apply all this blessing for social development. So, we live in the country, in the society. We are one part of the nation, the society. So we want to share our possibility, ability, capacity, anything that can help to develop the society. So in the same way, by learning and understanding this Maṅgala Sutta will be the great tool for all of us to apply for the social development. I think in Cambodia, as we are Buddhist country, we all should understand and should apply all this method for our country. Actually, in reality, if we observe it, the fact of society is not really practice and apply the Buddha's teaching to into the society. I mean, for ourselves, sometimes we just claim ourselves as a Buddhist, but the teaching and the lesson of Buddha and the teaching of Buddha, we really not understand well, and we don't, apply all those teaching to our daily life. That's why we are facing a lot of problem, and I mean the problem for our own life as well as the problem for the society. Actually, the teaching, the Dhamma or the Buddha is a great medicine. to cure all diseases. We might say like kind of disease, or in simply we can say just like the problem. A lot of problem in our society, in our life as well. So these are the great medicine, or the great, how to say, like to show the way as a map. If we have the Buddha's teaching as a map, you will never confuse. I think most of us always confuse the direction, which way we want to go, or we don't know the way to develop our own capacity, knowledge. Knowledge in simple way, you can study at school, at any place, from any person, but the knowledge, which is the knowledge from the enlightenment of the Buddha, so we just cannot find at any place without the true teaching, the Dhamma of the Buddha. So all of us, we are very lucky actually to understand and to learn the true teaching of the Buddha. So this is my objective. Hopefully everyone can apply it at the last of our presentation. So this is the question. Maybe any volunteer can help me to define what is Maṅgala. I did not hear from any student yet. I just speak alone, talk alone with Master. So any one of you, maybe a Venerable Master, can you unmute anyone that can share what is Maṅgala?
Yeah, everyone, anyone, you can have Venerable. Yeah, just get involved with the lecture. It's fine. So you can unmute yourself and join the conversation. What about Venerable Urnrit? Yeah. Can you explain what is Maṅgala?
What is Maṅgala?
Yeah, many Cambodian monks, we may have already learned about this. Yeah.
Okay.
The one?
Yeah.
Okay, please.
Master, yeah, highly respect Venerable Master Soptivi and Venerable Master Sieng. Yeah, my name Urnrit. Yeah, so I just Urnrit. I live in Phnom Penh right now. Stiang Min Chey.
Oh, Phnom Penh, very good. Okay. So how you define Maṅgala in your opinion?
Maṅgala, by my own opinion, is meaning what is bring peace to my mind and also not harm to others. It is just a very short meaning that I can give and easy to understand for me and maybe for others as well, because we put ourselves as an example that we want peace. Yeah, we want peace, we want happiness for ourselves, so other people as well. They want peace, they want happiness for themselves as well. Yeah, this is Maṅgala, and there are many ways that we can do it, but it is just the meaning of it, the definition of the word Maṅgala. Yeah, I just have a little bit ideas, Venerable. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, very good, very good. Yeah, Maṅgala is to have happiness, right?
Yeah.
All one about it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
So any other want to share? What is the definition of Maṅgala as you understand? I think at the moment, if you see my...
when yeah, go ahead.
So firstly, I would like to express my sincere respect to both Pante Master, which were Pante Soptivi and Pante Sieng. The word Maṅgala, by my own understanding, which I could consider as the type of good fortunes, and also in general, we might say the type of blessing that people could consider as their happiness.
Oh, very good, very good. What's your name again?
My name is Bachan Sawandi, and I'm currently residing in Poknong Pagoda, Pante.
Oh, really? Pokanong Batabong, right?
Yes, Pante, yes. But the
Oh,
problem.
Just student.
very good. Very good. Our student. Okay, very good. Yeah, well, yeah. All right. You all very correct. The answer. Maṅgala is a Pali term, right? We say in Khmer is Mongol. If we say Maṅgala is pronounced is a Pali word, but in Khmer we should say Maṅgala. In simply say it's a blessing. Discourse on the blessing. So you know, everyone need blessing actually, and you know, some people they not some, most of us always greet each other every day, like in the morning we say good morning, in afternoon we say good afternoon, evening we say good evening, because the nature of all human being, we need you know, like the happiness and mangalas that should happen to our life. So this is the way that we can, you know, like spread out our compassion, loving kindness to each other. But some misunderstanding of the people as well. People may say that, you know, in Buddhism, we should not pray or should not wish other people to be happy, to get blessing. I think it's not the correct view, the correct understanding. Of course, the Buddha mentioned about the cause and effect, that is karma, and the effect of its karma. But when we have the compassion and loving kindness, we should spread to other people. As most Venerable mentioned, at the moment, we all need happiness. You know, we want to be happy in our life. So mangalas that we always you know, like for like in the couple married life, we say Mongolka, you know, Mongolka, because they want to have that kinds of blessing. So we should bless each other, and by doing blessing, we cultivate the virtue, the great virtue. It's not only the wishing. Wishing is just like praying, but in our mind, our you know, our thinking, we always want other people to get happiness. So this is the great virtue of the people. So we have to cultivate this Maṅgala. And this is like definition: blessing, yeah, auspicious sign, good omen, prosperity, yeah, all these Maṅgala that you can understand. Well, another question: how you get to know Maṅgala Sutta, Venerable? Or maybe most Venerable, you all know about that because we always recite all Maṅgala Sutta. But how about lay student? How you get to know Maṅgala Sutta? Anyone who can share? Hasuka is here, right? Hasuka.
Namaste, Bhante Guru. Maṅgala Sutta, to me, I give the definition. It's just like it is the sutta, or maybe this is the lesson that Buddha taught us how to get the blessing of Maṅgala. It means that the way to get the real Maṅgala based on Dhamma. It is not based on what I mean that some people just do it, go and pray for the rock and then ask for, okay, rock, please give me like this, like that, and then they will get Maṅgala. It is not like the Sutta based on Dhamma teaching, based on a Buddha teaching. It means that the real Maṅgala, that not only human being that asking for, but actually the Diva also try to find what does it mean Maṅgala, and Buddha try to give the lesson about this Maṅgala, and this is become the lesson learned. So this is something that I can share, Bhante Guru.
Very good, Pasaka. You got very great knowledge concerning this Maṅgala Sutta. So this question, I think all of you know about it. You study by yourself, and also you listen the sermon of our great master, or even the monk always recite at any ceremony. Oh well. So come to another question. How many verses and blessing in Maṅgala Sutta? Anyone know about the answer? How many verses and blessing?
Bhante Guru is 38. Bhante Guru.
Okay, very good. Blessing. 38 blessing. How about verses?
The verse is like the first one.
Gatha mean man, how many gatha? Yeah.
How many gatha?
Stanza, must one stanza. Gatha is one. I forgot it. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
There are 12.
Yeah.
Six.
Monks, you know how many gatha? How many gatha verses?
Seven.
There are maybe there are 12 verses in Maṅgala Sutta.
Almost correct, but not really correct.
10.
11 maybe.
Almost.
11 verses. Is that correct?
Yeah.
It's 10 Bhante Guru.
10, yeah. 10 verses.
Who said 10?
Me.
10 verses.
Who me?
Repeat.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Yeah, actually in Maṅgala Sutta we have 10 verses. Yeah, 10 verses. 12 verses is Parabhava Sutta, Bhante. Yeah, almost correct. Yeah, we have 10 verses, and the number of blessings, 38 blessings. I think most of us know the number, right? 38 blessings. And one thing that is very important for this discourse, for this Sutta, you know, among 38 blessings, the Buddha mentioned, you know, step by step to have the blessing to reach the ultimate place. As you understand that the ultimate goal of all Buddhists who practice the Dhamma is to realize the nirvana. There is no birth and death, so it's called nirvana. This ultimate goal of all practitioner in Buddhism. So the 38 blessing concerning both the secular happiness and also the Brahman happiness to reach the ultimate bliss, that is Nibbana. So if we understand and realize all this 38 blessing is very beneficial and useful for our practice. So it's very good. We can apply also in our daily life in society, and also for our own ultimate goal as a Buddhist as well. So we can start from verse 1, and we will have some discussion but maybe we cannot discuss very detailed one by one, but very short in brief, like let's start from the first. I don't have the Pali right here, just only the English. So I think it's very easy for all of you to just like in short, if you have. But this book, Venerable, everyone got this book. You see this book? Oh, why not see?
Because you have the background behind.
Okay, this book on the page, Venerable, just compile, yeah, Dhamma terminology. On the page 110 is everything. There is Pali, Romanized Pali, also Khmer Pali, and then translation Khmer and English. So everything in these books. Yeah, I think the student of most master got all these books, very helpful for you. So the first one we might recite like what was that, like asevana chapilian nang panatan chasevana poche chapochanayan nang Maṅgala motamang. This is a Khmer tradition. We recite like that, but maybe international, like asevana chapala nam pandita nanja sevana pocha chapochanayanam Maṅgala motamam. It's like that, Venerable Master.
Yeah, exactly.
But a little bit different based on the tradition of each country, like in Thailand, in Myanmar, Sri Lanka, but most as like a Romanized Pali. So the first one, to avoid the company of the fool, or not associate with the fool. So you know the fool, what kind of person who we call the fool. So maybe I want to hear from all of us, all of you, how you get to know, I mean, how you know that a person is the fool. Pasuka or anyone?
Okay, anyone can.
Full nó cần chân piel làm chạc rồi.
Yeah, fool is the John Peel. Yeah, Peel. How you know the fool or the person who is the fool one?
The person who's not a believer karma, just you like để bay một buồn chẳng và phật chẳng đừng nghĩ tham ấy nè. They yeah, the not believe the karma, not believe the dharma. So the person who always do everything the bad in the society, yeah, like a robber, like anything like bad, yeah. That's all. Yeah.
Oh, that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. Thank you. And another one? Any volunteer? How you know those person are the fool?
That call. Okay, please, Bante.
Excuse me. Okay, let me share. For my personal view, I think that the fool is the bad person.
Okay.
That most people don't want to associate with the bad person. We can define generally, but the fool in Buddhism, we can say avijja person, the person who instruct their present and also the future based on the Buddhism.
Okay.
And also mostly some people, they cannot define who is the fool or who is the wise. But when we study the Buddhism, the Buddha defined precisely the fool is the one who instruct themselves first, and then instruct or harm other people later. And also based on the Paññāmuṇīñāṇa, he also made a verse that ជាសត្វមានស្នែង500ហត្ថជាសត្វសេះ100រាជាដំរីមានភ្លុក1000ហត្ថថាជាពីលពីលីចេញចាក់ស្រុក So that's all for me. Thank you, Bhante.
Very good. Very good. From the Sutta Preah. That's great. I don't know that. But one master, you know that? Actually, maybe I need some. Very good. Yeah, the person who instruct oneself and instruct other. Another way that we can know that those person are the fool, we should notice on the action, based on the 3 action, that is bodily action, kayakam, yeah, and verbal action and mental action. If they commit wrongdoing by bodily action, verbal action, and mental action, so we can notice them. They are not the wise, they are fool. So a lot of fool nowadays in our society. And actually, sometimes we should understand that we are not always the wise person. Sometimes we like foolish as well, because the thought of the ignorant and the thought of the unwholesome action, it always exists in ourselves as well. That's why we should not associate with the negative thought or with the unwholesome action. This is for I mean the thought, but this refer to the person. So if we accompany or associate with all those, we might say like kind of evil person, is always not bring us to happiness. There is no blessing at all. And actually it's affect to everything. That's why I think the Buddha really had to say his realization is based on the nature of the association. I mean the affection of the association, how affect to oneself and to the other. If we associate with the wrong person, it will affect in the bad result. If we associate with the good person, it really affect to our result as well. So that's why the Buddha mentioned instruct us not to associate with the fool as the first hour of the blessing. Of the blessings, 38 blessings, starting with the first one, not to associate with the fool. It always bring us the unwholesome action and unbeneficial result to ourselves. Okay, well, and second, associate with the wise. So just opposite to what we just discussed at the moment, what are the fool? So you understand it. And so the wise is bonded in Khmer, but maybe some misunderstanding panita or wise in Buddhism and wise in secular. In secular, I mean Plolo, that is the person who get great quality of education. They finish, graduated, PhD. So it is mentioned as the bonded, the wise. So it just the acknowledge of the society. But we should understand the bonded or the wise in Buddhism is not based on that quality. I mean, like not the background of their study, qualification. Actually, it's based on the action, as we mentioned earlier, is concerning their activity, action, bodily action, verbal action and mental action. If all those mentioned are good for the person, so it is called the wise person. And as you understand the factor of being a wise, we have four. Like this is the first one, atta soti, to purify oneself, and para soti, to make other purify, and to have other, the third, and to be grateful, the fourth. So all these are the qualification in Buddhism that we call the wise person. So we don't need just to get the higher education as a qualification, PhD, doctoral degree, but just being good person is a good enough to be a wise person. And for us as well, we associate with the good person is only bring happiness and blessing and the good thing to us, because the wise person always instruct us to get knowledge, to get the benefit, always help us in many ways that can improve the quality of life. For example, our class, our master, he's the wise monk that he got the knowledge and is very helpful with a great compassion to help our student to improve the knowledge, both in Buddhism, also the general knowledge, and also the knowledge in Buddhism. So we associate with the wise is only bring the benefit and the good quality. So it becomes the second blessing mentioned by the Buddha. But the first is important, just to be close, not to be close to the fool, and the second to associate with the wise. Well, we come to the third, to honor those who are worthy to honor. Anyone want to share who are the worthy to honor? Who are the worthy to honor? And what kind of person to be honored?
It means that the people we should respect, or the people who have a virtue,
Okay.
goodness,
Mm-hmm.
like monk, mother, and father.
Okay, good. Mother, father, teachers. In short, we can say just a virtuous person. Yeah, virtuous person. The person should have are worthy to honor. Yeah, they consist of the virtue. So we should honor to those person and will get the blessing from them. Yeah, it's not so difficult to understand. I think you got it, the meaning. So we go to the second verses, residing in a suitable location. So what is like a suitable location? Do we now live in a suitable location already, Master Verbal? Everyone, did you reside in the suitable location or what?
Anyone?
Anyone?
I think we are, because we live in a country that has the great teaching of the Buddha.
Yeah. In Cambodia, actually, we are very fortunate, and we are very lucky as person to be born in the land, we say like the land of gold, Savannapum. We might say we have the great treasure, that is the heritage, the greatest heritage, that is the teaching of the Buddha. That is the suitable location already. we are not really fortunate to be born in the the middle country, we say, like in India. Anyway, in India right now, not so many population that believe in Buddhism, but for us, like in Cambodia or other country who got the teachings of the Buddha to be practiced, so that is a suitable location already. And not only all those things that we are able to study and learn Buddha's teaching, but the place that we can access to anything that which improve our life, like we have the school, we have, I mean, many facility like electricity, many things that can help us to live in a good way. So it is also suitable location as well, and we should be proud of our we say like bond, our merit that we have done, because some people are born in really not suitable location, you know, that they don't understand that the teaching of the Buddha, or even they face the hardship in their life, like they live in a very impoverished country, like in Africa, in many other places. They could not even afford to access to the school, or facing a lot of trouble in their life. So it's not really suitable location. But right here, residing in a suitable location, it refers to the place that we can afford to learn the Buddha teaching, or to have education. So this is a great blessing. And
excuse me, Pante. Excuse
yeah,
me,
please.
Pante.
Yeah.
On that point, I used to discuss with my friend, or also many people ask me related to that points. Some people they raise that the suitable location or country refer to only the existence of, I can say, the content of the Buddha teaching, and also like a triple gym. But the controversial idea that even though the triple gym is already contained, but the state or the country is so poor, so they don't define as a suitable location or locality. And for my question, I want to ask Pante, do people live in United States or European country live in a suitable location or not?
Well, I think it's not only what, as you mentioned, like in Europe or in Western country, as long as we can understand the teaching, and we have the wise person to be associated, and we have the good friend, and we associate with the virtuous person in that place. So I think it's not specific country like in Cambodia or in India. I think, and also not only in Europe or in Western country, other part of the world, if they live in a good condition of life, with a good friend and with the real teachings, the teaching, we might say of the Buddha, but sometimes it's not the teaching is, I mean, the Dhamma is not only belong to Buddha. You might understand that Dhamma is not only belong to the Buddha. Buddha just realized the truth of the nature. So sometimes their practice and understanding is also correct to what the Buddha enlightened. So this also the suitable place for them as well. But right now in the modern era, we are, you know, very close. We cannot mention specific location, Cambodia or other. Right now, for example, we have in Zoom, so from US, from Battambang, from other places, but like in the one place as well. So we can adapt to how to say, like, to the place that we can live. I think it's not only what, as you mentioned earlier, any place that have the good teaching and understanding.
So thank you, Pante.
Okay.
I just raised about the controversial idea.
Yeah.
I used to discuss with my friend. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Pante. Yeah. Anyone can ask more questions. Sometimes we can discuss and not really, how to say, like to be very specific, but we can share the idea. And second is having done married in the past, also the blessing. You know, most of us understand the past is only like how to say, like the past life, or many previous life. Yeah, of course, the past life is also the past, but every day is you know, is passed from time to time. So like, for example, right now we are learning, but it will, tomorrow coming, so today will be the past. So what you have done today, what we have done, what we have learned, what we done, all those things is become the result that we done in the past. So actually we live in the present moment, but the present moment is the result of the past, and the present will be the past. Yeah, and the coming will be the future. So it's not mentioned only in the past life, but also the activity that we are doing, like yesterday or the hour before, what we are doing now. So it's become the past. So the good thing, we say merit that we do in the past is also the blessing. And we mentioned also both, because we are born in this world because of the great merit that we have done in the past life, but at all the activity that we do it's become also the past as well. And setting oneself up properly in life is is also important, because some person maybe they don't set up oneself in a proper way, in like properly in life. That is, we have the sila, we have the virtue, many good things based on, you know, the understanding. For example, they are going to school, they trying to gain property in the righteous way. So also that they set up oneself in a proper light as well. But the main important setting up oneself is to have the virtue and morality in their life. It's also the blessing. I may go roughly because maybe time is coming. Okay, we have this is to the verse 3, to have a good education. Yeah, to have a good education is the great blessing as well. If we don't have a good education, we don't study, we don't have a school, so there is no blessing. So when you got knowledge, and your life will be very blessing. And another, the Buddha mentioned to be proficient at work. Sometimes we learn a lot, but we should have the skill or any, you know, like any education which is very expert to you. There is a lot of a lot of skill for the person. So when we are add provisions at any work, so we can do it very fruitful to earn the life. And next, to follow a code of discipline, the person which is respectable, we should have discipline. Without discipline, like we are not worthy to honor and to be respectful person. So like the monk, we have the discipline of the monks. Even teachers, we have the discipline of being a teachers. So we have the rule or the code of conduct for every person. If we abide by and follow the principle, discipline, we will be a virtuous person. And next, to practice pleasant speech. Pleasant speech. Anyone want to share pleasant speech? What are the pleasant speech? Anyone? Đâu nào hỏi. You want to say something? What is pleasant speech?
Okay, it
means that a good speech.
Yeah,
So
good speech.
we can say in Bali term, supasita means a piece that a good speech.
Yeah, very good.
A useful speech.
Yeah. The right speech, we have 4 right speech, right? No, not telling lie, not speaking harsh speech, no vain talk. So if we avoid all those wrong speech, we'll have the pleasant speech, and like a speech in the right time, speech when we surely, and speak the truth, speak have a speech with compassion, because our speech is very effective to the person living around. People live without speech is useless, so speech can make a friendship, and also speech can have the enemy as well. So very, very important. That's why we have to speak the pleasant speech. And the next, sorry, this is verse 4, supporting mother. Yeah, supporting father. I think not really, not so difficult to understand, and very easy, and you can understand yourself already if we support mother, supporting father, and cherishing one's wife and children are the blessing. If we don't support them, we are not really grateful, and we don't fulfill the duty. For example, if we are the husband, we should fulfill our duty as husband, and as a wife, we should fulfill our duty as a wife, and we are mother, father, we have the children, so we have to cherish them. Actually, just like cherish, support our wife and husband in our own children, also the blessing is not only to support other person. We don't talk about the mother, father, because they are the God of the person, so we need to support them. But like our wife and children, husband that live together, but when we support and we help each other, also the blessing. And next, job that are not left unfinished. So yeah, when we do any job and we could not finish properly and we just leave it, it's not blessing. So we should not leave it. We should finish completely, so we will be happy and blessed. And next is generosity, dana. I think you understand dana, to give, yeah, like amisadana and dhammadana. Amisadana, that we offer and we give the requisite like food and clothes, the dwelling place and the medicine, the four requisite that the need of the person. So if we can do all this virtue, is very great. And the important dana, that is dhammadana, that we are doing right now, is a dhammadana, the great gift. You know, the Buddha always praised this dana, that is dhammadana, the great blessing as well. And practicing virtuous conduct. Virtuous conduct is when you conduct in the good way, virtuous action concerning with bodily action, with verbal action, and with mental action, which is the sujarita, which is virtuous conduct, like no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, no telling lie, etc. So all these things that we practice become the virtuous conduct. Caring for the extended family. So yeah, it's not difficult as well. Understand it. We have the family, right? And yeah, so they are family, relative. So we can have them in any way that we can have. For example, we can like give some money or even support food supply, or anything that they can happy with our help, with our caring. It's kinds of the sharing to support them. Yeah. And blameless job. This also important, because every person need a job to live, but sometimes they have the job which is harmful to other person, to be blamed from other person. So the job which are not affected to the people, so this is a blameless job. Like the Buddha mentioned the job which is not harmful to person. We should avoid like trading alcohol, trading poison, trading what else, human, trading animal, all those jobs that we should avoid. So the other work or other job which is not harmful to other person, we should have all those jobs. Yeah. And the next, avoiding unwholesomeness. So many unwholesome that you know, in our life we have a lot of unwholesome thing, but if we don't know what is unwholesome, maybe we cannot avoid, and we don't know the effect of the unwholesome action. So in Buddhism already mentioned the unwholesome action, the unwholesome thought, like unwholesome thought we have greed, hatred, and delusion. And concerning the action, no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, no telling lie. This is unwholesomeness. Yeah, so when we avoid, we have the blessing. And second, refraining from intoxicant. In these verses, we might understand that like avoiding unwholesomeness, we can refer to the 5 precepts, like no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, no telling lie. And next we go to like refraining from intoxicant. Yeah, in Cambodian society have a lot of you know, intoxicant. I mean, people they love to drink a lot of alcohol and many brands as well. So it's hard to talk about the intoxicant, but as we are Buddhist, actually we have to how to say, like to talk a lot about this, and because we abuse, you know, we violate the rule of the Buddha, and we sometimes we should be shy of oneself, because as a Buddhist we have to observe the precepts, but many people not really observe the precept, not refraining from the intoxicant. So we can
Excuse
see.
me, Pante. On that point, it could be a systematic social tradition that most people, when they have a ceremony, even the Buddhist ceremony, they always use the alcohol, like beer, yeah, and can say alcohol, yeah, mostly. And also now there are many kind of can say beer, like Hanuman, can say the name, the most famous name, like Angkor, yeah. They use it as a, I can say, intoxicating product. So it make push people to drink, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it's hard to complain of the people or the uneducated people, because it's a systematic or social tradition. For example, if a monk they dedicate themselves to not to drink alcohol, and then their friend who always ask them to drink, if you are not drink, you are not my friend. That's why it is hard to avoid drinking alcohol.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And other, I want to hear from the lay student part. Monk, at the moment, verbal monk just mentioned, but he's not really experienced in the real society. But how about the one who
People don't drink, not the people. What about Christina? Can you share something a bit from, as you live in the United States? Yeah. What about the issues of drinking? Do you think it is also social immorality?
Yes, most definitely. It is kind of difficult in social gatherings, because in the United States, it's very, very prominent thing to do in social gatherings. It's usually all based around alcohol. I myself, I don't drink. I haven't, I don't at all. So when I go into them situations, I feel outcast a little bit. And yeah, I can really see the damage it does when I'm the one that's not drinking and everyone else is. They don't think before they speak, and they seem foolish too to me. So it's not easy to go and be in social gatherings all the time. It's just not as enjoyable, because everyone's doing something I don't do.
Yeah,
you know?
That's why we should avoid them, right? To avoid such people is also a blessing.
Most definitely. Yeah. I don't go to bars, and I don't go to late night parties or anything. If I did, then I would be surrounded by their problems, because a lot of times it causes problems.
In the United States, if we go to a party, every party, I think there's a beer, there's alcohol, right?
That's right. Even at my family's gatherings. So I try to enjoy their company, but kind of ignore sometimes that don't take anything too serious. They're just kind of being silly, I used to drink, so I understand what it's like. So I just be patient with them, you know. That's okay.
Very good. Thank you.
Yes,
Great.
thank you, Bhante. Thank you both.
I would like to share too.
Yeah, please.
May
Yeah,
I
please.
share it?
Yeah,
Yeah, like in the US, like a social norm to the drinking. But the good thing is that they never force you to drink. It's on your own will. So if you have to attend, you don't have to drink. They don't force you. They always have to soft drink that non-alcohol. And the other good thing is that they only drink during the occasion at home. During the working hour, they are strictly forbidden from drinking because the policeman there is telling them and will give the big ticket if they caught people that drink and driving.
Okay, very
Thank
good.
you. I would like to share that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, very good. But concerning with Cambodian society is something that we have to consider, and I think all of us have to say, like, take awareness to our people, because a lot of accident and violation and like domestic violence happen because of the alcohol, drinking alcohol, and like killing, you know. Even the children, they are at the age just very young, but they also drink alcohol. This is very, very sorry for our society. Sometimes we don't know how to talk, and as mentioned, verbal just mentioned earlier, this kinds of systematic that happen, and a lot of promotion, advertising as well. But anyway, hopefully we all together can bring the awareness and get the education to our young generation, to our people, to refrain from all intoxicant as much as possible. Yeah, well, thank you. And next we go to the next blessing, the heedfulness in virtue. Heedfulness is, I think you already understand, heedfulness is concerning with, we have to be mindful, right? We have to be mindful in every action. If we are not mindful in doing anything, especially in our virtue, so we will waste everything, especially waste our time and waste our life, and doing anything without mindfulness. In Buddha's teaching, Buddha exported the Dhamma 84,000 units of the Dhamma, but in one word he mentioned, that is heedfulness. Heedfulness in Pali we say apamada, right? Apamada, that is being mindful in everything. So we have to cultivate mindfulness, sati. So we have to have sati every moment. This is the great virtue and the great blessing. And next, to have reverence, that is to respect to other person. In Cambodia, I think this the good thing as well, because we always have kind of culture. We respect each other, and we have the different level of respecting, like respecting for the friend, respecting for the elder, respecting the mother, teachers, and respect the king and the god or deva example. So yeah, we have good culture. So this is a good thing as well. And to be humble, humble, humility. So you understand it. It's not to mention it. being humble is the great blessing. And contentment. Contentment is a very, very good thing as well, because not many people that contented with what they have, satisfied with what they have. Actually, if we content with everything that we have in our life, that we are full of the happiness actually. But people always greedy, want this and want that, not really content, not really satisfied with what we have. So being a contentment is a great blessing. And then gratitude, yeah, this great virtue as well. Being a grateful children, grateful daughter, grateful son, grateful person, always doing good for the other, for oneself, is being a gratitude. And next, listening to Dhamma on a timely occasion. That is the term that we use, timely occasion. We listen to Dhamma, listen to teaching, but should not in timely occasion, not any time. I mean, just sometimes it's not a suitable time, it's not a timely occasion. Sometimes we have like a partner, we have friend to stay together, so we should understand their, how to say that, their attitude, their thinking, or sometimes they don't want to listen to Dhamma or listen to anything, but we just play it, so it's not suitable time. Sometimes it's too late at night, we should not just turn on the radio and make it loud to other person. It's not really a great time. So even we listen to Dhamma should be in a proper time as well. It will be the blessing. And next, that is patient. It's a very great virtue, patient. I think maybe all of you now is practicing patient already concerning my lecture, and yeah, like patient to listen and patient to do anything actually. So when we got a patient, you know, it will be very fruitful and will result in a very positive result. This is the great virtue, the great qualification for our improvement. Be easily admonished. This is also concerning with ourselves as well, because some person is not really easily to admonish, to advise. They have their own conceit, or maybe people have their own views, so it's not really to admonish and to instruct, not instruct, to advise. But if we are like a humble, and we are, how to say, we are like a good person, we always listen to other, whatever. It's not only listen to the great master, but to everyone, even they are the young person, or some. We also sometimes listen from the fool, or from that the person are not a virtuous person, but when they say something which is good, so we can also listen to them as well, because all those things that we can, how to say, to think ourselves that is right or wrong. So if it is right, we can take it. If it's not right, we can abandon. And to associate with the monks is also blessing. Monk, we say, like monks in Buddhism, but actually the person who have practiced the Dhamma, or the person who observe the precepts, we say samana. Samana is not only the monks in Buddhism, but samana brahma, like other person who, you know, who ordain in any, or I mean like in any faith also, if they practice the good thing. So we can associate with all those person, all those monks, so we will have the blessing. And next, discussing the Dhamma on timely occasion. This is also very good as well for us. Sometimes we want to discuss, but not in the timely occasion, in a suitable time. Sometimes it's a sleepy time, or even the late night. So we sometimes just discuss it, but not really, how to say, like, give the result, the good result to us. So have to find the good environment, the proper time, and then our discussion will be a very great result. And practicing self-restraint. This is self-restraint. If you come to understand yourself deeply, you will understand that we have a lot of defilement in our mind. So we need to get practice self-restraint by practicing the morality, like 5 precepts and 8 precepts, or even meditation to get involved with the teaching of the Buddha, so we can have that self-restraint, not to, how to say, associate with the lustful thought, or not to tend to the lustful desires, and just practice like a brahmacharya, or in simple way that we say we have the 5 precepts or 8 precepts, so we can have that self-restraint from the lustful thing. And practicing noble Dhamma, we might say refer to the Sila, Samadhi, and Paññā. That is a precept, morality, Samadhi, concentration, and wisdom. In the 8 noble paths, when we practice it, so that is practicing the noble Dhamma. And understanding the 4 noble truths, this core teaching of the Buddha. As a Buddhist, I think all of you understand, know the noble truth, that is the truth of suffering, the truth of the cause of the suffering, and the truth of the cessation of suffering, and the truth path leading to the cessation of suffering. So when we understand the 4 noble truths, the core teaching, or the main teaching of Buddha, or what the Buddha realized, is really the great blessing for us. But sometimes for now, usually for us, we just sometimes to say understand, but understand in the way that we know it, but not kind of realization. Only Arahant, the noble person, that realize it, the 4 noble truths, so they attain the Buddhahood or Arahanthood, become the noble person. And the last in these verses, that is realizing Nibbana. As I mentioned earlier, that Nibbana is the ultimate destination or ultimate goal of all Buddhist practitioner. And I think only stated in Buddhism that we have Nibbana. In any other faith or religion, they don't mention Nibbana. They kind like Christianity, they have only the heaven or the hell as the eternity, right? Eternity. But in Buddhism, heaven, hell is not eternity. Only Nibbana, the place. It's not a place actually, but the state of eradication of all defilement, the root of rebirth. So there is no birth and death. Then we realizing Nibbana. Now, actually, now we come almost to, not almost, to come to the top of the mountain already. We just understand from the first verses, second verses. It's just like climbing up the mountain, you know, from the very foothill, and then now we almost we go to the top already. That is realizing Nibbana. And this is the last verses, to be unaffected by the worldly condition. As you know, the worldly person that the person live in the light of the worldly, that they are not a noble person, just like us. Even we are monk and virtuous person, but we still live with the worldly condition. As you understand, maybe all of you know the eight worldly Dhamma. You know, eight worldly Dhamma, that is like gain, no gain, praise and blame, and then what else? Suffering and happiness, and then what else?
Fame
Anyone
and
can?
defame. Yeah.
Yeah, fame and defame. Yeah. So most we are affected by the eight worldly condition. When we got the fame, when we got praise, when we got gain, when we got happiness, so we always happy. But if we got the opposite thing, like suffering, and then no gain, no fame, yeah, and then we got, you know, disappointed or sorrow, something. So for the life of noble person, their life not affected by all those worldly condition. Anyway, it's a good thing that we can cultivate our mind as well. We should not let the eight worldly condition to affect to our life. Even we are facing all those things, like in the fame or gain or happiness, and we should realize that there is always happen in both ways. That is like happiness and suffering, pain and no pain, gain and no gain, and fame and no fame, etc. So it's always happen. So when you realize all those things, it means that you can cultivate your mind. But we should be very, how to say, proud of the person who can practice to reach the ultimate bliss, that is to reach the enlightenment as a noble person, that their life not affected by the worldly condition. And then to be free from sorrow is as a person now, usually we still have sorrow, lamentation, or pain and grief, the state of mind that we face in our life. But to be free from our sorrow, only the noble person, they totally eradicated the sorrow. And then also to be free from defilement as well. This is only the light of noble person. We say Arahant. All defilement are not in their mind. They become Arahanta, or become the Buddhahood. So for us, we are on the way to be free from all defilement, but we still have a lot of defilement, greed, hatred, delusion. That all defilement we have to eradicate it. And the last, to have lasting peace and security. In Pali we say kema, that is lasting peace and security. We can have like security, peace, but kinds of temporary, you know, not the lasting one. The lasting peace and security is only the person that eradicated all defilement and not affected by the worldly condition. As I mentioned earlier, just kind of person that attain the enlightenment. So they have the lasting peace and security. Anyway, we practice the teaching of the Buddha, the doctrine of the Buddha. So we also experience the peace and security as well in our mind. So these are the 38 blessings mentioned by the Buddha. We just finished. So have any question? And okay, please. Venerable Master, I finished my lecture.
Thank you, Bhante. Thank you for your great detailed presentation on the way to highest blessing according to Maṅgala Sutta from the Buddha's teaching. So now the floor is for students. If you have any doubt or question related to any factor of the blessings, you may ask Venerable Master right now. This is like a very social discourse. I mean, it's very related to our society, daily life in society. So it's very easily to relate it to our, daily experience. Okay, if you have, please ask, Venerable.
One question from me. So my question is that why did the devas or divine beings or a group of divine beings as the Buddhas in they was born in the good planets, and all the answers that found by the Buddha are not related to the divine being? I think the questions and the answers are mainly significant related to the human being. How do you think that?
Maybe the Deva, they have the great compassion, a great compassion, and they want to.
Okay. Do you think that all their questions are related to the human beings, because the human beings have a life and live in the social living which are full of the trouble, we are full of the problem and matters, so that's why they ask the Buddha to find the solution for that?
Yeah, I think so, but being a Deva is not the life that they can live in heaven. We say Deva, the beings that live in the heaven, right? So as you understand that in Buddhism, heaven, as I mentioned, is not eternity. So when he asked the blessing, the Buddha mentioned there is some factor that mentioned with the life of the human being in the world, in human world. But also Deva can also practice the Dhamma as well, like Abhidhamma, Abhidhamma. The Buddha mentioned in the Tavetimsa, the heaven world. So all the teaching, all the blessing is not only concerning with the human world, but also all the being in how to say that the cycle of the world in three bhumi, in Deva, Brahma, and Manosa, in Kamapop, Rupapop, Arupapop. So yes, I think it's concerning with every practitioner. What, Master Theory, could you help us?
Yeah, that's right, Bhante. I think you're right. I mean, all living beings experience suffering in their own way. If we're not in the state of Nibbana, so doesn't matter if Deva or human or Brahma, they have their own suffering because the life is still conditioned under three characteristics, right? Three universal marks of existence: impermanence, anicca, dukkha, anatta. And also the sutta, even though the Deva came down from celestial realm to ask the cause of blessing to the Buddha, but we should know that the problem started from the human world. When you read at the background of the story, the calamity happens in human world. So people, they're not in a state of peace from one country to another. They're just creating turmoil and disturbances, killing, one another. That's why they don't find happiness. So they keep searching for happiness. What is the cause to happiness? Because now we're facing disturbances. So they could not find the answer. And so the Deva, it went up until the Deva also realized the same things, that even them, they don't know the cause to blessing. That's why they have to come down to ask the Buddha. So I think that may relate to your question. Anyone else have a question?
May I say something in here? What so far that Honorable Hai teaching today is related to the mostly the precept, the body action, the verbal action, and the mental action are very much the most in here. And we all been practice those already. I know that it's still hard to control the verbal action, and also the rules of the defilement, which is the craving and anger and delusion. Also, it's hard to control. How do we go about to take care? I mean, to cut down all of those. Thank you.
I could not catch the question very well, Master. Can you repeat?
Oh no,
Because,
cannot hear her so well. Sounds like.
I'm sorry. I can repeat it. I know that all this the mindful suit in here is related to the precept, mostly to the precept, the body action, the verbal action, and the mental action. And for me, the hardest one is like the verbal action that is hard to abstain. Yeah, especially the lying. Sometimes we cannot avoid. And also the main root of the defilement, which is the craving, the suffering, and the delusion. And how do we go about to like cut down? We couldn't cut off, right? Because it's still in the human being. So how do we go about to cut down all of those and to practice the right way? Thank you.
Okay, I got it. So how we eradicate and how we cut down. And you mentioned like verbal action is very hard to practice, right? Let's say like the unwholesome root. Unwholesome root, it is a greed, hatred, and delusion. So when you know all this, the root clearly, like a greed, there is the, you know, the opposite, how to say, like the other way that we can practice it, and then to cut down and to reduce all the greed. For example, the greed, if we practice dana, that is mean we are reducing greedy mind. That if we greedy other thing, we should practice dana. You're doing dana, sharing, then you can cultivate the great virtue and to reduce the greed. And second, that is dosa, right? Dosa, hatred. Yeah, so you have to develop a morality, sila. So when you have sila, you will have the compassion. You have the loving kindness to other person, not to be anger, not so very angry to other person. But when you have the morality and practicing compassion, and Then moha, that is a delusion. So to get rid of or to reduce it, you have to practice wisdom. This is paññā. So how to practice wisdom? So you can like listen to the master or listen to the teachings and to think, and then to develop it. We say Sutta maya paññā, Chanta maya paññā, and non-bhavana maya paññā. That is cultivating the wisdoms. Then the state of mind that is delusion will eradicate it gradually, not totally. I think we not you, we, including me and everyone. We should not expect to eradicate it totally, just to reduce it little by little, and then we can be a purified person and virtuous person, and to be a great person. Yeah, thank you. I hope hopefully it's the answer, because I not really get the good question. Honorable Master, can we help me, please?
I think you're right, Bande. Because he raised about the verbal action is maybe hard for all of us, which means we are good at lying. Sometimes we have to accept it, you know. I mean, we accept that sometimes people like to play around with their words, you know. They don't keep their words and they don't speak the truth. They keep telling lies, or maybe backbiting, maybe vain talk, you know, useless talk, or maybe harsh speech. So that's become very simple in society nowadays. And there are many causes leading one to behave like that, you know. Even like when we talk about alcohol, you know, it also the cause of you know, to break the verbal action. So to practice a right speech, we need to restrain, we need to avoid talking so much. I mean, not to associate with the fools also is the cause to practice, you know, with the right speech. Because when you associate with the fool, all they talk about is the useless thing, you know. So you will get yourself to involve with vain talk, useless thing, backbiting, you know, talking ill of others. So it's just, you know, all the factors of blessing, they are very related to one another. If you break one, you may break the other blessings as well. So if you keep one, it will be conducive to practice the other factors. And that's what I believe.
Thank you so much, Master, and thank you for the lesson today. It's very important.
Okay, any other question? One last question from anyone? Okay. If not, I think we shall conclude our today's presentation, because time is over already. So I would like to say thank you and express our heartfelt appreciation for Most Venerable Sieng. Yeah, though he's quite very busy, very popular monk now in Cambodia, and also
Really?
around the world, he still, you know,
Go to the forest.
join us and share his knowledge. And as you see, I think we still look alike. In the past 10 years, many people confused us. You know, Venerable Sieng and I myself, they said we look like twins, or some people look like a one monk only. You know, when they met me, they said, "Oh, I saw you here and there," but actually, it's Venerable Sieng, not me, because he's too famous to, you know, to confuse with me. So I'm honored when people say, I know you, but actually, yeah, it just turned me upside down when they said, I know Venerable Sieng. Okay, so I mean, yeah, we have studied together in Burma, so he's my senior, and also in Sri Lanka. So that's why he has led a very good example for our young monks in terms of study or Buddhist education and also social work to support our country with education. So we're very thankful, most venerable sir, and I think we may have you again next time in any program. And also would like to conclude our lesson today by sharing merit to all beings in the whole universe, including all students here, everyone. May all of us be well, happy, and be liberated from dukkha. Dukkha patta jane dukkha bhaya patta jane bhaya soka patta jane soka hontu sape vipanino summanamodane. Goodbye, everyone. Good night and good morning.
Good night. Bạn không lia đó nè. Bye.
Nah,
Thank you so much, Master.
ណែថ្វាញ់គុំលាបងគ្រូ
Bye.